Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we're doing an unboxing. We're going beyond unboxing. As the song says, we're going to be building a little birdhouse in our soul with Wingspan. Okay, here we are with Wingspan. It's a 1 to 5 player game for ages 14 plus and takes about 40 to 70 minutes to play. That's the front cover. Let's have a look at the back. And let's zoom in a little bit, just to this part here, where it said it's designed by Elizabeth Hardgrave and illustrated by Natalia Rojas, Ana Maria Martinez Jaramillo and Beth Sobel. You are bird enthusiasts, researchers, bird watchers, ornithologists and collectors seeking to discover and attract the best birds to your aviary. Each bird extends a chain of powerful combinations in one of your habitats, actions. These habitats focus on several key aspects of growth. Gain food tokens via a custom dice in the bird feeder dice tower. You can lay eggs using egg miniatures in a variety of colours or draw from hundreds of unique bird cards and play them. The winner is the player with the most points accumulated from birds, bonus cards and end of round goals, eggs, cached food and tucked birds. Okay, let's just adjust this a little bit. It's not playing that one, but in this blue bit at the top here it says it now includes a Swift Start pack which contains 4 guides and 10 new cards to add new players or to aid new players. But the main components are 1 rulebook, 1 appendix, 1 Automa rulebook, 1 goal board, 1 bird tray, 5 player mats, 1 bird feeder dice tower, 1 scorepad, 170 bird cards, 26 bonus cards, 16 Automa cards, 75 egg miniatures, 5 custom wooden dice, 40 wooden action cubes, 103 food tokens and 8 goal tiles. So that's what's in the box, supposedly anyway. Let us zoom out again and then we can just open up. I can't find my knife of opening, so a pair of scissors will have to do. Hopefully the cards come in the relatively easy to open packs so I don't have to struggle without a knife. Okay, now this is quite a hefty box. Let's have a look inside. Now something I can see but you can't. If I lift the edge of the box, it gives you a plan of how it goes in. That's nice. So the bird tray containing cards goes here, player mats and rule books underneath it, scorepad there, action cubes there, dice tower tray, goal tiles go above the goal mat, and then here we have the bird feeder dice tower, the food tokens and the egg miniatures. So that's how it's set up when you've actually opened up and seen everything. So let's oh my, you can't see my face here, but oh my, sorry, I will explain in a moment. Right, so we have here a Play Wingspan inspired game in augmented reality, now available on the Crikey app. There we are. So there's a thing here, so it's a discount coupon on Steam. I may have a look at that later on. The reason I'm saying oh my is because I can feel this rulebook and you can't. Oh my indeed, it's like linen. It's linen finish. You know the cards that have linen finish? On the outside of this book, not on the inside but on the outside, it's like a linen finish. It is, oh, lovely to hold. It's lovely to the touch. So here we have, what is this? A competitive bird collection engine building game for 1 to 5 players. This must be the rule book, so it gives you all the components here. Yeah, it gives you the setup, detailed look at one of the cards, then an overview of how to play with the turn structure, the round structure, end of game, scoring, and the 4 actions you can do. Actually, I'm saying it doesn't do it on the inside, but actually does. On one side it's kind of smooth, but on the other side it's a linen finish. Oh, this is an absolutely beautiful feel. Oh, this is one lovely book. This gives you the bird powers and the end of round, bonus cards and whatnot. Now we have an appendix, and this appendix, oops, to another book here. The appendix, given the table of contents, you've got the quick reference, then we've got the appendix, which shows the end of round goals, bonus cards, bird powers, which include food gaining powers, egg laying powers, card drawing powers, flocking powers, hunting and fishing powers, and other powers. So if we look, the end of round goals are all here. This is a quick reference, so it tells you how the game is played. And so it shows you what the bonus cards are and a list. So, for example, photographer, for this bonus card, it's birds with colours in their name, and this gives count the birds you've played that have one of the following words in their name. So yeah, it gives you a list of all the birds you're looking for that one. Here we have the nest and egg related bonuses and the habitat related bonuses, other bonuses. Then there's the bird powers. And then there's the food from supply. And did I get that right? Yeah, food from supply. These powers allow players to take food directly from the supply without relying on the dice in the bird feeder. Oh, that's good. Then we have bird powers. So we have egg laying powers, card drawing powers, that kind of scenario. Flocking powers, hunting and fishing powers. So, for example, with the hunting and fishing powers, in general, with these powers, birds go hunting for smaller birds, a rodent or a fish. If they find one, they keep it, and it counts as a point at the end of the game. And then on the back, there's all the powers, all the other powers of the birds. So that's quite thorough. And then this is the Automa rule book. So this is only for solo play. Lovely magpie there. So it shows you how to set up the game. It tells you about the Automa's turn, which is kind of like an AI second player. And then it tells you what you can do on your turn. But as I said, that is only for a single player turn. Look, we have cards, we have cards, we have cards. It's a card game for the very basics. We have all these eggs separated into different colours. We have the dice, we have the cubes, and we have, oh, look at this. Little storage things for the eggs and cubes and tokens and whatnot. And then we have scoring sheets. So one side we have the multiplayer game, and on the other side we have the Automa single player version. So we have a nice little scoring pad there. Then we have this. As you're playing the game, you'll put 3 cards down on here. And then inside is where you put the cards. So these will be the bonus cards and these will be the bird cards. Oops, let me put that around the right way. We have a couple of extra bags. And this is the round scoring card. So for the goals. So you can put a goal token on here. And then when you've completed, and at the end, you go for what the goal is, and you put your cube onto who has the most, or onto how many you have, that kind of thing. So that one is, so it's like a simple version of it, and that one is the more competitive version. Start off, I think I'll be using this one. You also use this one for the Automa single player variant. Then we have, this is the extra pack that it was saying about on the back. So we have extra cards in there, and you know, it's an aid for what you call it, new players. So I'll be having a look at that. Oh my. I'm sorry, I am quite speechless at the quality of this game. Yeah, you wouldn't believe what this is. It's your player board. It looks like a leather-bound notebook, the kind of thing you take out into the field when you go bird watching to list the birds you've seen. But it is in fact the player boards. That is, wow. So yeah, you have 1, 2, 3. It's a up to 5 player game, and we have 5 of these, and they're all the same. The player boards, so obviously they're all going to be the same. And now at the bottom we have the birdhouse dice tower. I'll show you how to put this together at the end of the video. So I'll put that to one side, and then we have tokens. These are all food tokens. So we have grain, we have fish, we have grubs, for want of a better phrase, invertebrates, whatever, and we have rats, and we have berries as well. And these are the tokens that you'd use on the goal card. Where did I put that? Yeah, they're the ones you put on this board. These are the goals that you're looking at for each round. So they're not the main goals, personal goals. These are the common goals that you're looking to achieve towards the end of each round. And this is the first player token. Now we can actually get a mini of this, which I think I may look at getting as time goes on. But there we are. That's what we have in the box. Now, yeah, so this is the what do they call this again? It now includes a Swift starter pack. So this is the Swift starter pack, which is the aid for new players. So let's have a look at what's in here. Again, we have an empty bag. Empty bags are always handy. Then we have some cards. We'll have a look at those in a moment. But first we have player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, and they're assuming that there's only 4 players for a first game. So I'm assuming that's because there's only 4 of these boards, but if there's 5 players for the first game, then I suppose player 4 can What's the word I'm looking for? Sure. But I think this is just a guide to make it easier to learn the game, because it does actually tell you proceed on step up to the normal step for selecting birds and food tokens. Instead, the play starts with the following: an American redstart, broad-winged hawk, 3 food tokens, invertebrate, rodent and fruit. And it tells you what to play. Play the broad-winged hawk in your forest, so it tells you how to do that. And turn 2, it tells you to lay eggs, and in turn 3 it tells you to play the American redstart, and in turn 4 to gain food, and turn 5 and beyond you don't have any cards, so you'll need to use your wetland to draw one. So it just goes through that, and that's for player 1. For player 2 it's slightly different. So player 2 will start with the following: a canvas back of Vox's Swift, 3 fruit tokens, invertebrate, seed and fruits. And it says to play the canvas back in your wetland, and then draw cards, and then to play the Vox's Swift in your forest, and then to gain food, and what happens turn 5 and beyond. Now I'm not exactly sure as to whether or not these birds are already included in the main deck of cards, but who knows. But in player 3 they will start with the white-throated swift, the scaled quail, brant, and 2 food tokens, the invertebrate and seed. So it tells you to play the white-throated swift in the grassland to gain food, and then the brant, which is a kind of duck or goose, and then to lay eggs. And then what happens turn 5 and beyond as usual. And then player 4, well, they'll start off with the red-breasted merganser, the black-chinned hummingbird and a painted white start, and 2 food tokens, fish and an invertebrate. So they'll play the white start first, then gain food, then turn 3 they'll play the red-breasted merganser, and then the black-chinned hummingbird into the grassland. And then what happens in turn 5 and onwards. So it's just basically a way of introducing players how to do things. And now what I will do is lower the camera a little, and we can concentrate then on the rest of the components. But we'll start with these out of the Swift Start pack. So we'll just snip that end off. So there's your broad-winged hawk. It lives in forests. It eats mice or rodents. Feather. What's the feather for? Is that points? Can't quite remember. It builds a flat nest. It lays 2 eggs. It's got a wingspan of 85 centimeters. That's the when activated effect. And a little bit of information along the bottom. It says this hawk is seen more during migration than while it's in the forest interior, and it's found throughout the Americas. And then we have the American redstart. That lives in the forest, but it eats invertebrates and berries or fruit. I think that's a points value. It makes a ball nest, lays 2 eggs. And redstarts get the name from the Old English word steort, meaning tail, and that's found throughout the Americas as well. That's the canvas back we were talking about earlier. It's a wetland bird. It eats grain and one of any other food type. 4 points. That one, I'm not sure what that means. I think it's a wild card for nests. It will make a nest anywhere. It lays 4 eggs. And it's the fastest recorded canvasback was flying at 116 kilometers per hour. The Vox's Swift, strange looking bird. Lives in forests. It eats grubs. Worth 2 points. I'm not sure what symbol that is, but we'll find out as time goes on. and you can see what's going on. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, than you can see a bit more what's going on. Then we have the brant. That doesn't really lay an egg, it just lays eggs on stones or on, well, basically on the ground. There's your white-throated swift. Scaled quail. Black-chinned hummingbird. The red-breasted merganser. Looks like a bit like a grebe because of that tuft on its head. And a painted white start. Yeah, so they're the birds that go in the Swift Start pack. Now, I'm actually going to put these cards in this bag here, just so they don't get, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't get mixed up with the others just yet. I want to make sure that these cards aren't in the main deck. Okay, so that's that. Now let's have a look at these little what do you call it? These little token holders. So really nice. These will hold the food tokens and more than quite likely the, assuming of course I can get them to play. We have a lid and you know, weirdly they won't fit in. I don't know why. Perhaps I'm being a little too careful with them. I don't know. Weird, but they got some nice little containers to hold the tokens and probably the whatchamacallit. I would say that these are the bases and these are the lids. Or not, as the case may be. I really don't know why these won't fit together. No, they don't seem to be fitting together, so I don't know what's what. Unless they don't actually fit together. That's probably why. These will be to hold the bird's eggs, and these will be for holding the tokens. Because the tokens you can just... Bear with me, let me zoom out. If you see what I'm doing here, the tokens you'll just be able to pull up like this. And the eggs you can just take out one at a time. So when you're playing the game, these are just holders. They aren't actually base and lid. That's nice. I just realised what they were, so I'm happy now I know what they are. Oh dear. Next piece of equipment we have, or next bag we have, is the playing pieces. So you have different coloured pieces for each individual player. So you have purple, red, green, blue and yellow. And these are just little wooden blocks. That's all. Nothing special. You have a certain number that you use throughout the game, and that's it. There we are. Next we have the nice looking dice, the food dice, which goes into the bird feeder dice tower. These are wooden dice. My God, these are wooden dice. And they're printed on with grain, rodents, invertebrates, and we have invertebrates and grain on this, and then this side we have berries and fish. And I'm wondering whether they are, no, they're all the same by the look of it. They invertebrates or grain. Yeah, so I'm assuming they are all like that, and they're all the same. So we have one side with each on, one grain, one fish, one rodent, one invertebrate, one grain. Sorry, one grain, one berry, one invertebrate, one fish, and a rodent, and then a choice of invertebrates or grain. They are really nice. But the thing is with these, you don't roll them. They're not to be used to roll during the game. They are going to be just rolled at the beginning of a round and whenever you need to. And they will be just placed into the bird box. Next, look at these little beauties. As Gollum would say, eggs-ies. Yes, there we are. Now, these are the eggs. The eggs, the colour of the eggs don't actually mean a thing. But again, these feel like painted wood, actually. But you do know that at some point, when playing this game, I'm going to be mixing these or switching these out with Cadbury's mini eggs. You do know that, don't you? It's going to happen. So we have pink, brown, green, white and blue. They are the eggs that we have. Very nice indeed. Excuse me. That's a cough. Now let's have a look at cards. We have cards which have two backs. One which has feathers, and these are all bird cards. We'll leave those to one side because I want to have a look at these cards. First off, and thankfully these are nice, easy to, supposedly easy to open cards. Now what do we have? First off, we have these are the round cards for solo play. Sorry, this is the round card for solo play, so when you're playing solo, these are the two Automa cards. I'm assuming that that's what these are. You have round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. These are Automa cards. And just says end of round goals. So I'm assuming these are the ones that the Automa character plays. So when we do that, no, it can't be. Let's get book out and see what we have. I would sooner look first of all at what these are. So these ones are current round tracker cards for solo play. These ones are the 2 end of round goal scoring cards for the Automa solo play. So that's what these 2 are. And then we have these 2 decks with both have cogs on, but both different colours. So these are Automa cards, and these ones are 11 Automa cards, including 1 expert level card, the Automa Society card. So, I don't know what the Automa which is that one. And this says, add this card for a greater challenge. I'm not sure exactly what that does, but what happens with these is you would have this on the table. I've not seen a gameplay video with this, that's why I don't know what it is. And then with these ones you would put them down like that for round 1. And you follow what's on there. And then for the second round you will turn this card round and place it next to, so you know that that's round 2. Some of them won't be like that, where it's just got the round 1. So on the round 1 you would go with that, and then after round 1 you would remove it from play. So that's what these cards do, and it tells you exactly how it works. I don't know why you need that when you've got this, but I suppose it's just a reminder, because you'll have so much going on with this. So for the first round you'd have it like that. For the second round you turn it over. For the third round you turn it once again, and the fourth round you would do that, because you've got these rounds here and you just follow on from how it fits, so you know exactly which round you're on, and it makes it just a little bit easier for you to go with the flow, as it were. And these are action summary cards. So these are the Automa action summary cards. So these tell you what you do. So for this, discard all 3 bird cards from bird tray. The Automa draws 1 and keeps it face down. That says take all bird cards that match the bonus card. The Automa keeps the highest point value card face up and discards any other. If none match, the Automa draws 1 and keeps it face down. This is give the Automa 1 egg for each egg icon shown. If all dice show the same face, reroll all, or follow the key left to right to match the first face type in bird feeder, and remove all of these dice. So if you have a mix of the dice and you have a couple of rodents, you would take both rodents out and you remove all of those ones. And then for this one, it's place 1 action cube on the current round's goal tile, then remove 1 action cube from the current round's goal tile if possible, and then activate all pink powers of bird cards on your player mats, and then it tells you what to do in the end of round. So that's the Automa cards, which I will probably be having a play with. Now these are the personal goal cards. So at the beginning of the game you'll get 2 of these, and you choose 1. So you can have something like the enclosure builder. So you're looking to build birds with stone, with basically no nest. You just lays on the ground, or birds with colours in their name, or birds that eat anything. What? So it's birds that has that symbol on their cards. Birds that eat grain. Birds named after a person. Birds that have at least 1 egg laid on them. Birds with a loose nest. Birds with geography terms in the name. Birds that eat berries. Birds that eat only grubs. Birds that eat only birds that can only live in trees. Birds that have at least 4 eggs laid on them. Birds with a skull and crossbones power. Not sure what they are. Birds with wingspans over 65 centimeters. Birds that eat fish. Bird cards in hand at the end of the game. And this is the scoring. So if you get 5 to 7 birds, you get 4 points. If you get 8 birds plus, you get 7 points at the end of the game. Birds that can only live in grassland. Birds with bowl nests. Birds with flying power. I don't know what power that would be. Birds with wingspans 30 centimeters or less. Birds that eat mice. Birds that have a habitat with the fewest birds, or birds in your habitat with the fewest birds. Birds that can only live in water. Birds with that that symbol of nest. So you can have that symbol or that symbol. So that's a wild nest. I think that is one where, like a cuckoo, it doesn't build its own nest, it lays its egg in somewhere else. Oh, and there's a percentage of cards of this type at the bottom of the cards. Birds with body parts in the name, and birds with worth less than 4 points. So yeah, that's the personal goals. And then we have a few cards of birds. Let's open one, shall we? So let's have a quick look at this. So we have a common merganser. And looking at the cards before from the Swift Start pack, you know how it works out. That's the area where it lives. So in this case it's a wetland bird. That's what it eats. So it eats fish and anything else. That's its points value. That's its nest. That's how many eggs it lays. That's the activation. And that's a little bit of information about the bird and a map of where it's found. And that is the wingspan. So I'll just have a quick look through these just to show you what the birds are like. Yeah, I've just found this one and I'm just wondering now. Yeah, bear with me, I'm just wondering. Was it down near the end? Birds with body parts in their names. Nope, that doesn't work. You know what I was implying there. There is absolutely no way that I was going to let that one go. So, an eastern phoebe, eastern screech owl, looks more like a burnt owl to me. Ferruginous hawk, I've held one of those, they're beautiful birds. Fish crow, Forster's tern, Franklin's gull, golden eagle. There we go. Horned owl, now that would be in the anatomist one. That will be one for the colour photographer one. Birds with colours in the name. So there we are. That is one deck of cards. There's some beautiful artwork on these cards. These are all tend to be a lot of birds that are found in the Americas more than anything else, but I will be looking at getting the European and the Oceania expansions once I've got used to playing this game. I know the European one will have more birds that are found in obviously Europe and the UK, especially where I come from, so there won't be birds that I'll have seen. The Ferruginous hawk that I said I'd held, I do have a photograph of that somewhere. If I can find it, I will add it into this particular video to show you. Beautiful bird. Oh, purple martin, pygmy nuthatch, red crossbill. So I'll tell you something as well, these cards, they're not the linen finish, but they do feel lovely to hold. They've got like a ridge, slight ridge to the back. You can actually feel it as you move them around like this. But it's not overly conspicuous as you're holding them. This is a tail flycatcher. That's the poster boy of this particular game. As you may have noticed, it's the one that's on the cover. And there we are, Stanley's J. Swanson's Hawk. I don't think those that are in the Swift Starts pack are in here. I've not seen any as yet. Not that I've, to be honest, not that I've been looking, but I don't recognise any from being in there. So who knows? I'm just roughly going through these so you can see the artwork on each of these cards, because they deserve some appreciation. Obviously I'm not going through them all in great detail. We're just having a whiz through, but as I say, it's just so you can appreciate the artwork. Absolutely beautiful American Kestrel. Look very similar to the British Kestrel. I don't know what the difference is, but it's worthwhile. I think I may have a look after. And Hinger. It's probably some relation to a cormorant or shag. Sorry, the cormorant and shag. The barn owl, yes, I do know that they're found globally. And the swallow, I've seen them quite a few times. They're just known as swallows in Britain, not burn swallows. The golden eye, not the James Bond movie. Black-billed magpie. It's very similar to the British magpie. Not much of a difference. The blue jay, totally different bird than the English one. Well, it's not totally different, but there is different markings. Bronzed cowbird. Absolutely beautiful artwork. I'm hoping you can yeah, that's not included on the Anatomist one either. I'm hoping you'll agree with me that the artwork on these, we know them. They are not just found in North America. They should be a map over here as well, because they do come over to Britain. Cerulean warbler, lovely. Chihuahuan raven. Chimney swift. There we are. So that is common loon. Loon is just like a nickname for a bird. The loon is the great crested diver, if I remember rightly. But let's put all these to one side and make room for the birdhouse. We're going to build that up now, I think. Here we are. So we'll just not these pieces. So punch out bird tray A and fold the two long tabs up along its score lines, which means like that. And then these will go along there and in there. So that is one job done. I believe. Now, yeah, and they should both be flat to the ground. So I'll put that to one side, and next punch the birdhouse tower back and sides. So that is C, which is this one. Okay. Punch the birdhouse back and sides, fold the bottom flap up. And fold in to attach the tower to the tray on both the tower sides. So that goes like so. Next, locate the notches labelled on the punch board to attach the tower to the tray on both the tower sides and the tray back end, which I've done. Yes, punch out the middle inserts 1 and 2. So let's have a look what we have. Middle insert 1, let's put that in, and middle insert 2. So middle insert 1 and 2 and slide them in the corresponding notches. So that will go, oops, that I believe goes in there, and that one slots, oops, in there like so. And next, punch out the birdhouse front E. So the birdhouse front is this one. So punch that one out, and these holes get punched out as well. And this gets slotted, oops, into the like so. Oops. Let me raise this a little so you can see properly. So there we are. That's what we have so far. And finally, the last step is to punch out the roof. That gets punched out. That gets punched out. Gets folded slightly. And that goes in there, and that bit, oops, goes through there, and we end up with a birdhouse dice tower. But I do believe that I may have got these back to back. So that one should go on here because it is longer. That one should go on the back because it has those notches for there. And then what happens is we get the dice and they get fed in like so. I'm astounded at how nice this game is. Just the look of the game rather than just the playing aspects. I've not got to the playing part of it yet. It just, everything else about it is just so spectacularly well made and nice. It looks good. It feels nice. The dice, all the components feel good in the hand. I can't wait to start playing this. I really can't wait to start playing this. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'm going to go away and read some rule books. So until next time, I hope you've enjoyed this video. But as always, stay safe and take care. God bless and bye for now.